Boom. 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 All right. So it's been a long time. I was been supposed to make makeup tutorials, so stay tuned. All right. So we're going in with this Cover FX here. This is a dewy primer. I am a dewy kind of girl. Like, I have dry skin, so matte doesn't look good on me ever. I kind of have combo actually. Just dry everywhere else and a little oily under here. So it still works out for the most part, but I am definitely not having the easiest time getting my eyeliner, my under eye from creasing or looking dry. It either looks dry and it's solid, or it looks creasy but smooth. It's a very anyway. So I started off with the primer here, and so you know, let me see here. I don't really do the whole coloring and shaping of the brows. That's just not my thing. I don't like the way it looks. I actually like my brow shape. I do need to clean them up a little bit, but we just gonna do a very basic makeup tutorial today because I got a couple errands to run and I want my face to look, you know. So I have no shame. I love my natural skin, but sometimes I want a little face, but I don't feel like doing a lot. So today is one of those days. So I'm gonna go in with my eyebrow gel. Oh, there it is. I thought I lost my brush. Ooh. I was combing my hair with it. Okay. And then I'm gonna go in with my brush. Like, mostly all my brushes are either e.l.f. or BH Cosmetics. So I'll try to show them to you as I go along. But anyway, so let's jump into why it took me so long to get this started. So when I first wanted to start doing my makeup tutorials, I was living at home with my grandma. This was like 10 years ago. So I love Granny, but you know, living with an older person, you know, you can't really, I felt like I just couldn't concentrate there. Also, that house had a lot of trauma for me, just growing up as a child. So I just don't think like, I don't know, I just could not focus there. So then went to grad school, fast forward, let's jump to 2017. So me and my husband, at the time he was my fiance, we moved in together and stuff. And we, you know, we just had a lot going on between me going to school, a couple personal things that, you know, maybe I'll discuss in a later video. But just, we had stuff happening to us individually that was really impacting the relationship. And it was hard, you know. So like a lot of days, all I had enough energy was for school or enough energy to go to work, you know. So it was just hard to like really focus. That's with everything, the knitting, the cooking. I used to kind of cook and show my videos then, but that was like all the energy I had to do. I mean, I had. So I'm getting ready to go in with this concealer real quick. Pause in the story. This is in the color Warm Honey, okay? So this is kind of like a reddish color to kind of correct this, because I've tried to use color correcting stuff and it just ends up looking orange no matter how little I do. I'll be practicing more on that. So anyway, so also at the time too, I was very insecure with my size. I am a plus size girly, you know, and I'm not ashamed of that. I am in the process of becoming a smaller plus size girly. Now don't mind how I'm doing that right now. Don't worry about that. In fact, I need a mirror. Hold on. So I had a lot of insecurities like about my face. And at the time, I will admit, like from now to then, I am definitely about 60 to 65 pounds smaller. So of course you lose it around your face. So I had a lot of insecurities around how big my face looked on camera. So that was part of the reason why a lot of things got delayed for a long time with me. Oh, let me use my mirror. Simply because I was insecure about my size. It was very hard. Food was definitely a comfort food for me, and I still love food, but I don't use it as a comfort tool anymore. Now, instead of food, I use this instead. I use knitting instead. Yeah, yarn can be expensive, but baby, I'm an acrylic girly. Yarn is cheap. Anyway, so I have other coping skills now. So I love cooking, but I also know that as I've lost weight and I'm, you know, still on my healthy journey, Unhealthy food just makes me feel like shit. Mentally, physically. Like, the last few days, I'll be transparent, like, last few days we've been kind of, like, a little all over the place with our food just because our freezer is out. And so you can only buy fresh food. And so it's been a little harder to cook because I'm a person who, like, stocks up a lot of things in freezers. My green smoothies consist of frozen fruits. I don't know. The freezer, I didn't realize how much I used it until it didn't work. So, you know, so I'm going underneath here and just patting this very gently. And so, you know, it's just been a little chaotic. Now, I wouldn't say our eating's been off the hook. No, I've been cooking still. But we have been eating out too. And I just noticed that, like, the food from eating out, good quality food, but not the healthiest, not the unhealthiest. But it makes a huge difference when you're working out. Now, you see how this looks out? Now, you know how some people do it and it looks casket fresh? I don't like that. No shade to those who like that. I don't like that, though. So I'm going to go here with the edges and pull this out to my skin. So, as you can see, it blends down pretty good. Pretty good, pretty good, pretty good. Now, we have the corner. And so, ooh, wait, hold on. Just washed my face, and somehow I got a crust after that. Anyway, so you see I got a little bit on my nose. I do have moles, so I'm not planning on covering those up. But see that? Simple. I'm not one of those girls. Anyway, so we're gonna take this. This is going to go underneath right quick. But yeah, it was just really hard to, like, focus and get myself on camera. So then 2017, I didn't graduate college until end of 2018. Graduation was until 2019. So after that, I worked a series of stressful ass jobs. Stressful jobs, overwhelming jobs. I do work in the mental health field. Very overwhelming. Very overwhelming. Very overwhelming. I just cannot emphasize it. And that'll be a whole nother video where I can talk about each job and why it didn't work. So, now I'm gonna be honest. I'm not the best with this new way of doing it. Like, I'm just used to the old school concealer, powder, and go. But we got some new shit. It seems like all the new concealers don't blend unless you put some of this damn whatever this is. What is this shit? The setting stuff. Anyway, so yeah. Now, I don't like how it look, the color, but I know it blends. It does what it does later. So, you know, basically that whole time, I just really did not, I really did not have it in me to do makeup tutorials. I really wanted to. Like, I really, really wanted to. I had makeup. I would definitely still do my makeup. See, I don't like this shit. This version of makeup that they're doing, I hate it. That's another reason, too, that delayed me. I have to figure out how to use these new products. And see, it's already creasing. I don't know. I don't like that shit, though. But anyway, so I heard you do like this afterwards. So we're going to see how this all works. Because now I'm going to put on my foundation. I'm going to let it sit underneath that part a little bit longer. So, you know, it just took a long time. And then we moved to Merced from the Bay Area. And, you know, this was after my grandmother died. So I was very depressed. I didn't even realize how depressed I was. But it really hit that, like, dang, like, my whole family's really gone. It's just me and my husband. Like, I have some distant family members, but we don't really, it's never really been a relationship like that, unfortunately. Like, and it's not a bad thing. It's no love lost, no love found, but it just hasn't been a super relationship like that. So, you know, so we started working on our brand some more. We had already started our brand in 2020 during the pandemic. And then, oh, my bad. This is the Black Opal and Truly Topaz. This is a foundation stick. And so we started our merch company then. And so we kind of expanded some more. We expanded into music because I am musically inclined. Check out my music videos, LadyB. If you just type in LadyB Big Bill album, if you look on my page, there should be some links to it. I will definitely work on linking stuff better. But anyway, you know, so we did that. So that kind of worked a little bit, but it didn't give us the results that we wanted. You know what I mean? And so finding out that essentially you have to spend a lot of money in marketing more than you actually do the music. The looks, the everything, the marketing is the most important. The marketing is the most important for anything. So right quick, pause real quick. Foundation brush, a little bit of Revolution's Cover Fix It spray. so that I can spread this. But anything that you're doing, business-wise, investment, it don't matter what it is, marketing is going to be your biggest thing, and social media is the way to go. So despite me and my husband knowing several people we've helped, people we've supported, we don't get the same support, you know, that we've given, which is fine. So we decided to move to Vegas so that we can regroup and redo things, you know what I mean? And that has helped so far. We both, you know, it's been an interesting journey trying to get employment out here, though we have a lot of experience. It's just that when people finally meet us, like the employers, they're like, oh my God, you're legit. Yeah, we're legit. You know what I mean? So I guess in Vegas, a lot of people ain't legit. No shade. I guess that's the case. So now we're, you know, both going to be employed and working and stuff. So now I can have more focus on, you know, making tutorials and doing things like this. Now, I know y'all looking like, what the hell's going on up under there? Don't worry. See, this is a stick foundation, so the process to me is a little different. You have to take your time and apply it. Now, I should have covered up my scars there, but I mean my little pimple scars, but I didn't because, you know, I didn't feel like it. So, and we're just going to keep blending. This is kind of like I said, a lot of people may not like stick foundations. I personally love them. I feel they have better coverage than everything else. Other than certain liquid foundations, I definitely feel like, you know. And I should have put some concealer around my mouth today, but I didn't. And I'm not probably going to go in with it on top because it's not a 911, okay? So now I'm going to go back in with that brush. This is called a Complexion Duo brush by e.l.f. I just use this for underneath my eyes to kind of like get the excess, you know, powders off and whatnot. And then I'm going to go back in now with this brush and finish spraying. So, you know, it just now is coming together for me almost 10 years later, which is crazy when I think about it. But I just know life sometimes, you know, life sometimes take you all kind of ways. So I'm going to take a little bit of this and go on here a little bit. And I'm going to go underneath my, what you call it? So this is just to bring the color, you know, back to a normal color. Just a little bit. Just to balance it out, you know. But yeah, so it's been a journey trying to get here to get to do this part. You know, like I said, confidence was definitely a big factor because I definitely could have did it. But stress too. You know, stress, processing childhood demons, adult demons, learning how to set proper boundaries as an adult. Because I wouldn't say I didn't know how to set boundaries as an adult. No. See? Looking good, huh? So, we're going to go back over that. And keep in mind, I'm still going to put in a little bit of powder later. So, you know, as an adult, like, me setting boundaries with me telling motherfucker to go fuck off sometimes. And that's not always professional. You know what I mean? And I had to definitely work on some things professionally and, you know, just emotionally. Don't get me wrong. I was never a type of person that just walked in and cussed people out. No. But if you started it, I was definitely going to finish it. And so now I'm at a stage where I know how to communicate. And I've been knowing how to communicate for like the last like 4 years. You know what I mean? Effectively. But a lot of places that I worked were unethical. They wanted to do illegal shit like changing my notes illegally. And falsifying Medi-Cal, shit like that. You know how hard I worked for my damn degree? Like, I'm not about to allow you to do that. Like, what? Say what? And they don't tell you that shit in grad school. So anyway, they mentioned the ethics. Oh, this came out good. Hey, maybe I need to talk to y'all more often while I do my makeup. Okay. So anyway, so it just took a long time. Period, point blank. You know, it just took a long time to get started. I definitely wanted to get started a long time ago, but I just couldn't. So now y'all gonna see my face more often. This is just gonna be a very basic look today. I'm not really doing eyeshadow too much. I'm gonna put some, yeah, I don't have the right eyeshadow color in here for that today. So yeah, I'm just gonna probably put some pressed powder over my eyelids because I did put the remains of the foundation on there just to kind of make sure everything looks even. So I'm going to go in with this color here for a blush today because, you know, I'm just going for a natural look today. Nothing too big. I just wanted to stay simple. Just wanted to be slightly, you know, slightly diva'd up. Oops, this is the wrong brush. So this is another e.l.f. brush. This is a bronzing brush technically, but I like their bronzing brushes because the way it kind of angles. I don't do the where you sweep it all the way up here, and I don't like that. I don't like that. It looks nice on some people, but I don't like that for me. And what I love about makeup is that, I'm losing some color, some light. What I love about makeup is that you can do whatever you want to do. It's your face. You know what I mean? So people probably going to be like, oh, you're doing this wrong, doing that. Do your makeup how you want to do your makeup for you. I don't care what nobody say. If you want to have your blush up there, have your motherfucking blush up there, okay? Have it up there, baby. Ain't nothing wrong with it. Do what you do is best for your face. But anyway, so that is pretty much it. You know, it's just lack of confidence. I wouldn't even say being judged, because I really don't give a fuck what people think a lot of times, and like that's probably why I don't have no friends. I have like friends that are distant, and what I mean by distance is location. I do have some solid friends, but they in other states. But me, you may not, my friends will tell you, like, I'm gonna tell you the truth, and you're not gonna like it sometimes, but I'm only telling you from a place of love. If I don't care about you, I will let you destroy your shit by yourself. I will watch you crash and burn, baby. But if I care and I can see where shit's going, or I've seen this episode before, see how you can barely see it, just light, you know? If I've seen this episode before, I'm gonna tell you because I care. You know, and I've definitely probably ruined some friendships in the past from that. It is what it is. Like, I was still right in the end. So, it is what it is. I was still right in the end. And they could probably testify to that. We still cordial to this day. But they could testify to that. You know what I mean? And I'm just not one of those people that if I know you can do better, if I see where you could potentially, and I would want people to tell me that, like, I'm gonna keep it 1,000 with y'all. All my little friends that I love y'all, and I love that y'all wanted to love me through whatever y'all thought I was going through, or whatever I thought I was going through. But baby, I was too big. I'm still too big. You know what I mean? And this is no shade to anyone who is plus size or anything that's happy, fat, living their lives. That's your business. That is your business. I'm talking about my body and my body only. So this is going to be the Urban Decay setting spray. I'm going to use this one today because it is a little sunny and a little warm outside. Okay, so I am referring, got my fan here. Yeah, I'm referring to those, my friends who, girl, you still beautiful, but you know, blah, blah, blah. No, baby, I needed to lose some weight. And I think I did have like one friend. I really did have one solid home girl who gave me workout tips and ideas and things. And she helped. And that's still my sister to this day. So, you know what I mean? But that was like the only person who actually kept it real with me about it. You know? So, for that, I forever thank her. And she gonna forever be my friend. So, and she knows who she is. So, you know what I mean? Like, I still use them workout tips to this day, girl. But, you know, it's just the transparency of this. And I'm not ashamed of it. You know what I mean? Like, I love food. I don't have an addiction to food. I'm not sitting... Ooh, I need to get another pencil. I'm not grazing food all day. Do I just want to do this color? You know what? We just may do this. This is a bit of honey by NYX. Don't mind it. It look a little raggedy, but it's fine. But I forgot what I was saying, y'all. Like, I still have work to improve on. You know what I mean? My biggest thing now is the order operations for food. Like, my portion size, I'm cool. Some days I have a little bit more carb than I should, but not like that, honestly. And then I switched a lot of carbs. Like, I have Bonza chickpea pasta, whole wheat pasta, only sourdough bread, whole wheat naan bread. The only thing I really changed is like my rice. Because I love white rice. Brown rice is disgusting. I'm not going to eat it. I am going to try bulgur, though. And it's another one, too, I want to try. I do like couscous, but I like pearl couscous. And I'm not a super big fan of quinoa, but, you know, we'll see what happens. But, you know, basically, forgot to tell y'all. I'm using the MAC Magic Extension. All right. So, you know, I am still, you know what? I just forgot I didn't put my pressed powder on. Hold on, guys. Just so you know, you can put your setting spray on first and then put the pressed powder on and then reset it. And it actually, this girl suggested it on IG and I was like, you know what? It actually works. So anyway, but what I was going to say was that I had to change the order of operations. Just a little bit. I had to change it. I wasn't eating enough protein. I wasn't eating anything for breakfast. Let's start there. I was just drinking a cup of coffee. That's bad business all the way around. You don't want to do that. So since I went in with my Urban Decay, I'm also going with this e.l.f. setting spray here. I like this as well. This is pretty nice. I usually use the NYX one. This one doesn't. This one has a very fine mist, so you have to like squirt it to death. But anyway, so it was the order of operations. Getting up in the morning, just having a cup of coffee, no water first. That's all bad. Spikes your cortisol. Makes you keep a lot of weight around your stomach. Second thing, I definitely still had issues with sugar. I wouldn't say terribly, but I had worked on it over these last 4 years. So like in the past, I'd eat a pint of ice cream and a package of gummy bears and had a sweet coffee and probably had 2 cookies at work and had a candy bar on the way home. I was on my way to 600-pound life in 2019. Trust and believe me. But now I have candy, and I think I just finished a bag of Jolly Ranchers that me and my husband both shared, like a small bag. I think that shit took us like 3 weeks to finish, y'all. And I would only limit myself to 2 pieces at a time, even though the serving size was like 4. You have to make it work at some point with cutting down. And an all or nothing approach was what I had in my mind for a long time, instead of reducing. But what I always had in my mind was, how could I make my food healthier? So like on my IG, a lot of the food that I make, I don't try to add extra oil to it. I try to saute. I don't even keep the oil in the house to fry too much, just because I don't want to be tempted. But what's funny is that as you stop eating fried foods, you stop craving them. Same with sugar. Like, I can have candy. I'm not going to lie. When it's before my cycle, I got a sweet tooth like a mug. I want a burger and usually something sweet. But I've even gotten that better in control. So, you know, I also changed the way I did my workout. Definitely found out weightlifting is where it's at. Definitely. Y'all like my makeup? I look good. I look good real quick. Oh yeah, I forgot to get a little pose. Okay. But yeah, weightlifting is where it's at. Weightlifting before cardio makes a huge difference in how your body reacts. Meaning, like, when I would do my cardio first and then weightlifting, I would be so fucking hungry after my workout. I'd be ready to eat like 10 burgers. That was not helping me. That was still making me stay at maintenance instead of hitting a calorie deficit. I switched it, and I've been having results ever since. So I ain't gonna show you all of my business right now, but definitely been having better results since then. But also the biggest thing too is cooking at home. You can save so many calories. A lot of things that is out, you can eat them at home a lot of times if you make them. In fact, usually there are less calories at home because, one, it's not made in such a rush. You know what I mean? So it gives you more time to marinate your food, whatever you want to do to your food to make it taste better. But two, a lot of times the food in the restaurant has more salt and more sugar, which is going to add more weight to you anyway, and more calories, of course. And the salt's going to make you hold on to more weight. Now, you might fry chicken at home, but you may not need it to batter it. You know what I mean? You might want to fry it, but maybe you don't have to batter it. So now you don't have the flour and the extra calories from that, or the extra carbohydrates from that. Or like me, I've learned to bake and air fry my chicken, and I like it better than fried any day of the week. So it just really depends on where you want to change things. Like, I love white rice, but I cut down on my portion of white rice when I have it. Another thing that I do too to help the glycemic index thing is to put the rice in the refrigerator and cool it down at least 12 hours. If you do 24 hours, it's even better. It doesn't spike your blood sugar at all. So that's something else I've been doing. And then also just kind of being mindful. You know, Vegas got a lot of good food. So me and my husband, if we go out to eat, we'll eat that meal, and then later on the rest of the day, we're eating berries. We're eating fruit. We got sun chips if we want a little crunch. You know what I mean? The sun chips generally are made with like whole wheat flour, rice bran flour, and oat flour. So, you know, it's just different things you have to try. You have to experiment and try and fail. So now we're at here, you know, I see more success happening for us. So anyway, I'm going to take my hair down and take one more video. But that was pretty much, I know this video probably was chaotic and I was all over the place, but hopefully you followed along. So, yeah. So I'm going to take down my hair and then we'll be done. So, yeah, I don't know what the hell this is on this shirt. I'm probably going to change it. Yeah, I'm going to change it because I don't like that. So, the final video having different results. Anyway, so I was talking about one of these. But anyway, so yeah, y'all know I've been on this hair journey trying to, like, you know, get it all together. And so I don't think my twister is going to be the best because yesterday I was kind of tired. And just over it. So They're kind of semi-braided. I don't know. I think it's going to be fluffy today. Just feels fluffy. I had a workout too. So that's another thing with trying to keep your hair natural is like, yeah. So anyway, so I'm going to take a little bit of that good old, ooh, excuse me guys, good old Blue Magic. And we're going to rub some on our fingers, rub some on our other fingers. And we're just going to start taking them down slowly but surely. Yeah, I don't think today, and today's kind of windy too, so not exactly expecting my hair to be the best today. Yeah, I just like French braided the back. I would wet my hair before going to sleep, but I run the risk of it not drying because I probably sweat a little bit in my sleep too. So otherwise I would wet it and then do it, but I just don't know if it's gonna dry in enough time. And I be having stuff to do in the morning. So try not to be too rough because these braids were not braided with the greatest, what's the word I'm looking for? It wasn't braided with the greatest effort. I need to go get some more. And I've already ruined this new shirt. I don't know how, but I've always ruined this shit. So I'll probably grab a couple more shirts. Hit a Burlington today or something. Okay. So then I kind of go with the flow and untwist a little bit just so I don't destroy the curls. But like I said, I did not put the best effort in these twists last night. This is not my best work. So I'm just slowly finding the pieces and kind of like, you know, pushing through a little bit. I like my nail color. Looks a little greasy, but it's cute though. But I'm really trying to like embrace my natural hair texture, you know, and I think I have a decent texture. I have a fine grade of hair. So like, even though it looks like I have a lot of hair, my hair is very soft and very fine. So, oh, it's hot. Hold on, put this back on. It's very soft and very fine. So, you know, it frizzes very easily. So yeah. Sometimes I do like that. So this part of my hair is a different texture from all the rest. It's so funny. And that's something else as I've been going on my hair journey, realizing that my hair has different textures. So, luckily I found some products that work for all textures, but just knowing that part. Ooh, kind of itchy a little bit. And I know you're supposed, people say to oil your scalp. I don't, because it makes my scalp really flaky and really gross, and I get scabs. So I think I get like a fungus. So I don't moisturize my scalp at all. I don't. I depend on whatever's going on my hair, because that does not work for me. Used to, you know, growing up, mom used to do it, but then I always, you know, I could be wrong because I always had dandruff. So I don't necessarily know. I was told that oiling our scalp is not the greatest thing for our hair. See that? Shit. And see, I tried to do it downward, but, you know. So I have a lot of grease on my fingers. Do not worry. Yeah, it's a lot. It's a lot going on. So yeah. Now, if I fluff it too much, then it becomes a fro. So generally speaking, when it doesn't exactly hang how I need it to, boom, these help. Okay. So some people do it the other way. I kind of, damn it. Make sure you. Alright. That's the only thing is that I know I like to do my hair after makeup. So sometimes this can be a bit of a challenge with natural hair. So I'm going to push this back a little bit. Hold on. Don't be alarmed. I look like a black Cynthia doll right now. Hold on. Hold your horses. So, ooh, look at that gray hair. Look at that. To push it back to a certain extent. Now, I do the smoosh method. Now, hold on. Where's my brush? What the hell? What the helly? What the helliante? What the hellion? Okay, I have to find my brush. I could have sworn I brought it in here. Anyway, so I'm gonna use this on my edges. This is Auntie Jackie's. This is the only gel that doesn't make my scalp have weirdness. So, yeah. You ever feel like you living with a ghost? Like, nigga, where is it? Okay, and I did change my shirt real quick. So, I know some people smoothed it before, but I don't know. It seemed to work as well. I don't know. I'm probably doing this backwards, but I feel like, I don't know. I feel like you gotta do it what works for you. So, take my little brush here. And I don't, those little small edge brushes, those are cute and all, but like, they cause a lot of damage to your hair. I don't know, maybe I'm too rough, but they cause me a lot of damage to my hair. So at least in the front, as you can see, like I kind of have like a baby's little peak. No, that's breakage from using those little brushes. So you won't see me use one of those. Not unless I'm doing braids. That's the only time I really use it, because I feel like with that, that's a little different. So, this though, boom, and boom. So yeah, put a little bit of gel on the little frizzier parts a little bit, you know, just a little bit, just to kind of lay it down a little bit. Like I said, I'm in a learning process with this hair thing. But this is by far the healthiest and longest my hair has ever been. So, I will take it. So, anyway. Alright, y'all. Are these getting rusty? Okay. So, yeah. Time to go run these 18,000 errands that I don't feel like running. But, I mean, I feel like, you know, if you gotta run errands, you might as well look good while you're running them, right? Going out the house is pointless. Going out the house looking toe up is like pointless. Put some hair on it. If you know, you know. Alright, y'all. So that's it. I am finished. I changed my shirt and we are ready to go. So I'll be back later with another tutorial. Boom. 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 Boom.